Good morning, everyone. Today is June 23rd, 2026 at approximately 9 a.m. Pacific time. This is the date and time that we have reserved for the Profit Connect Wealth Services Investor Call. My name is Jeff Winkler. I am the court-appointed receiver for Profit Connect. We received a number of questions in anticipation of this call, and so the plan is to go through those questions, and if we have time at the end, to potentially answer any questions that may have popped up in the interim. The first question that came up is in regard to Brent Kovar and his criminal trial and what the status of that. So based on the current scheduling, it does look like Mr. Kovar will be going to trial in August. The date is still subject to being moved or changed based on what's going on between the parties. Once that date is finalized, we will post that information and make it available. So anybody who has questions or would like to attend, then we will make sure that you have that information. Next question. Has there been any changes to the expected recovery timeline or the total funds available since the first distribution? We continue to collect revenue from various different sources, including clawbacks of investors, and net winners, and we will continue to do so going into the future. We do have some outstanding litigation still and are working to get that wrapped up as quickly as possible. And so once we have collected what we believe can be collected in the case, we will do a final distribution in the case and then close the case. In the interim, however, we will continue, like I said, to work on collecting additional funds from those parties and work on getting that back out to investors as quickly as we possibly can. When do you expect the case to wrap up is the next question. We do anticipate that the case will wrap up hopefully by the end of this year, but it does depend on some litigation issues, and so we don't yet know for sure what that date will be, but we are working towards that goal. It says, will investors and creditors be getting money awards to them based on the litigation with Bank of America? So the Bank of America litigation was collected on, and that was part of the distribution that we just did to investors. The settlement was 1.825 million, and after attorney's fees, it netted just under 1.5 million, and that made up part of what was distributed in the last distribution. Next question is, I received my second distribution and it was lower than expected. Can you provide a detailed breakdown of how this distribution was calculated, specifically related to the Bank of America settlement, including the total funds available? So we distributed approximately 2.2 million, which was just under 10% of the total amount of approved claims. And that was based on the funds that were available. We did hold back funds related to potential tax liability and other potential issues, and once we get closer to the end of the case, then we will be able to release the rest of those funds as part of the final distribution, along with any other money that's collected in that interim period. Next question is, are we guaranteed our original amount invested? And the answer to that is no. We are working hard to collect everything we can, but in these Ponzi scheme cases, oftentimes the total amount that was invested will never be recovered due to money that was spent in ways that is unrecoverable. So we do work to try to do the best we can to get us back as much of it as we can, but it's very unlikely that we will ever recover 100% in this case. When will I get the remainder of my funds? The remainder of the funds will be done in a final distribution. As I said, we're hoping that that will happen by the end of the year, but there are some variables that are still outstanding regarding litigation that will affect that timeline. Will there be any more disbursements? Yes, there will be one final disbursement that will happen. And again, we anticipate hopefully by the end of this year, but it's going to depend again on some of that litigation that's outstanding. And then the final question is, will we receive more than what we invested? No, it's very unlikely that we will even get back to 100% of what was originally invested in this. As I said, in Ponzi schemes, there is money that is spent in ways that is just unrecoverable, including over $1.5 million worth of tenant improvements done to the warehouse out by the Speedway, and many other instances where money was spent in ways that just is unrecoverable. Those are all the questions that we received. I will go through the chat here in a second, but I did want to remind everyone, if you do need to reach out to us, the easiest way to get a hold of us is contact@profitconnect-receivership.com. Again, that's contact@profitconnect-receivership.com, or you can call 503-980-3711. And again, if you have not already, I also do recommend that you go to our website, profitconnect-receivership.com. Again, profitconnect-receivership.com, and you can register there to get notifications as updates happen. We'll now open up the chat to see if there's any questions there that have not already been answered. Let's see here. Yeah, if you have a change of address, please do let us know. And again, if you have not seen your distribution check, I would recommend that you do reach out to us at this point to make sure that it has not been lost or sent to an old address. They were sent out to the addresses that we had sent them the previous ones to, unless you had sent us a change of address in the interim. But given that those checks went out on May 11th, we would recommend that if you have not received it yet, that you do reach out to us. We can always stop pay that check and issue you a new check at that time. So again, if you have not seen that check, please do reach out to us. If you're an international investor and normally would receive a wire, please do let us know if you have not seen that, and we'll help you out to that regard as well. But again, seeing that that's the end of the questions there, I do recommend, again, if you have questions, just reach out to us via email, on the website, or via telephone, all of which are currently in the chat and are readily available to you. So please do reach out if you have questions. Thank you.